We'll be rounding the world-famous Horseshoe Curve. The Horseshoe Curve was constructed by the Pennsylvania Railroad between the years of 1851 and 1854. The Horseshoe Curve was designed by J. Edgar Thompson, chief engineer and later president of the Pennsylvania Railroad. It took the railroad 3 long years to construct the curve using all manual labor, including mules, pickaxes, shovels, and black powder. Construction of the curve was done by about 450 workers, many of them from Ireland. The work was done entirely by hand, and workers were paid 25 cents per hour for a 12-hour day. The opening of the Horseshoe Curve was significant as it enabled the railroad to surmount the summit of the Allegheny Mountains, crossing over the Eastern Continental Divide through the tunnels at Galitzin, which we just passed through a few minutes ago. This shortened the travel time between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania from 7 days to about 15 hours. Currently, we are traversing the steepest grade on the entire Pittsburgh division, a 1.8% grade. Had the Horseshoe Curve not been built here, the grade would have been 5%, which is much too steep for train travel. As the train traverses around the curve, we will travel 2,375 feet in length. Also, as the train descends around the curve, we will drop 122 feet in elevation from one side of the curve to the other. During the golden age of railroading in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, there were 48 passenger trains a day of the Pennsylvania Railroad's famous East-West Blue Ribbon fleet that traveled around the curve each day, including the world-famous Broadway Limited as it traveled to and from New York and Chicago. During World War II, the Horseshoe Curve was placed under a 24-hour National Guard as it was learned that Nazi saboteurs had landed off the Atlantic coastline of the United States, intending to destroy several industrial sites in the United States and Canada. Number 8 on their list was the Horseshoe Curve. In 1966, the Horseshoe Curve was designated as a National Historic Landmark, and today it continues to serve both the Norfolk Southern Railroad and Amtrak as we travel between Pittsburgh and New York. There is still a small visitor center located at the base of the curve, accessible by automobile only. It is open to the public during the summer and fall months. At one time, there was a small station stop here, but that was discontinued prior to World War II. Resting at the apex of the curve is an ex-Pennsylvania Railroad GP9 diesel locomotive number 7048. It was placed there in the late 1980s in place of the famous K4 steam locomotive number 1361 to honor all of the past and present railroaders that have served on this division of the railroad. Once again, in just a few moments, we will be rounding the world-famous Horseshoe Curve. If you're seated at the rear of the train, you might be able to see our locomotive as it passes around the curve today.